Hello, nice to have you join us on News Track at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwu, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at the moment. The Department of State Services has filed a 5-count charge at the Federal High Court Abuja against the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore. The prosecuting agency listed X-Corp and Meta Incorporation Facebook as defendants. The DSS had on Monday, September 8th, handed Sowore a 1-week ultimatum to delete what it described as a false, malicious, and inciting social media post about President Bola Tinubu. The ultimatum expired on Monday without Mr. Sowore deleting the posts on President Tinubu. Also, the social media companies X-Corp and Meta Incorporation, who own X and Facebook, failed to oblige a demand by the DSS to delete Showore's accounts. The charges were filed on behalf of the DSS and the Nigerian government by a director of public prosecutions at the Federal Ministry of Justice, Mr. Mohammed Abubakar, as well as other lawyers for the DSS. Suspected armed bandits have abducted about 40 worshippers from a mosque at Gidan Torbe village in Safe local government area of Zamfara state. The incident occurred in the early hours of Monday during dawn prayers around 5:30 a.m. when the gunmen reportedly surrounded the mosque and whisked away the worshippers. Locals say the abductees were taken into the forest around the Gohori axis of Safe local government area. In a separate attack, another group of suspected bandits stormed Dogandaji village, also in Safe local government area, where they killed the village head. Residents explained that their assailants had attempted to abduct the leader, but he resisted, which led to his death. Efforts to get confirmation from the Zamfara Police Command proved unsuccessful as the command's public relations officer, DSP Yazid Abubakar, did not respond to calls at the time of filing this report. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, say the breakdown of family values among young people is fueling insecurity and other social problems in the country. Speaking at the opening of the 2025 exercise Haske BU at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State, the First Lady, represented by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima, stresses the need for families to reclaim their role as the foundation of society.
Exercise Haskebu is part of ongoing efforts by the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, to improve multi-agency collaboration. The training focuses on building capacity and sharpening responses to internal security challenges and low-intensity conflicts. The event brings together senior officers from security agencies, media stakeholders, as well as traditional and religious leaders. The goal is to deepen collective knowledge and understanding of military operations beyond warfare.
While as a nation, we have always discussed about coming together to solve our common problems, we have never had a permanent platform to achieve that. Therefore, on the orders of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College Board, the theme for this year is the family and national security. This is in recognition of the centrality of the family in our individual and collective lives, our traditional values, our moral compass, and the belief in the divine. It is also a bid to start back at the beginning to allow us reassess the growing malaise in our society and make our way up so that we can have the country that we all want to have.
The First Lady, represented by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima, emphasizes that strong families remain the foundation of national security.
Family is the bedrock of society. It is where we learn our core values of love, duty, respect, and sacrifice. Our nation is made up of millions of individual families from various tribes, ethnicities, religion, and tradition, each with dreams, aspiration, and right to live in safety and freedom.
Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, adds that family values play a vital role in securing Nigeria and building a peaceful, resilient nation.
Usually, there are a number of challenges today that we need to consider, and this is the impact on information technology.
For the host governor, Senator Ubasani, represented by his deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabi, investments in education and socio-economic inclusion are critical to addressing insecurity.
Security is not only a federal mandate, it is also a state responsibility. That is why our administration has made security a key pillar in the pursuit of peace and development. We recognize that without adequate security, there can be no sustainable development, and without collaboration, there can be no security.
Investments in education and socio-economic inclusion are critical to addressing insecurity. Exercise Haske Bu is not just a training exercise, it serves as a national problem-solving platform using a whole-of-society approach to gathering ideas and providing a blueprint for strengthening Nigeria's security.
The federal government is again reaffirming its commitment to ensuring that all Nigerians identify identity-based in order to promote a secure, inclusive and digitally empowered Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja on the occasion of the National Identity Day celebration, President Bola Tinubu says the federal government is determined to recreate a Nigeria where every citizen's identity is recognized, verifiable and protected, and where no one is left behind in the journey towards development.
For the 7th time, the National Identity Management Commission is celebrating the National Identity Day as Nigerians from all walks of life converged on the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center to mark the day. The Director General of the Commission sets the tone for the event as she allays the fears of Nigerians over identity and data theft.
Attempts to filtrate all of our databases have failed, but these efforts have led to false claims that our database has been compromised, with rumors circulating that people's data is being laundered.
Statistics of enrollment is reeled out as part of activities marking the day.
As part of our commitment to the SDG 16.9 goals, NIMC has made tremendous progress in inclusion, with over 123 million Nigerians now enrolled in the National Identification Database.
The need for Nigerians to be captured in the nation's database is also emphasized.
As a supervisory minister, I will say that based on the initiatives, ability to think out of the box, I think NIMC has done fantastically well. NIMC, my last charge to you, your ministerial charge, go, deliver, keep making us proud. Let Nigeria be greater for it. Let renewed hope not be a dream. Let it be a reality in identity journey.
Determined to ensure that no Nigerian is left behind in the journey towards development, the federal government reaffirms its commitment to enroll all Nigerians.
As President, I reaffirm my administration's commitment to these goals. But government cannot do it alone. Achieving a truly robust identity ecosystem requires collaboration. The benefits of a secure and trusted identity system are immense. For our economy, it means greater inclusion, better planning, and stronger financial systems. For security, it means accurate identification, reduced criminal exploitation, and more effective protection of our people.
The National Identity Day celebration, with the theme Public Key Infrastructure, Backbone to Digital Public Infrastructure, is an annual event aimed at sensitizing Nigerians on the need to be captured in the nation's database.
The president worldwide of the University of Lagos Alumni Association, Engineer Ifeoluwa Oyedele, is calling for a new funding model for Nigeria's education sector. Speaking at a press briefing to announce the association's upcoming dinner and awards night, Mr. Oyedele lamented the lack of funding for the country's schools. He urged everyone to join hands to rescue the education system. The dinner and awards night, which is part of UNILAG's 55th anniversary celebration, is scheduled for October 17th.
This year's edition is particularly significant because it marks our 55th anniversary awards and recognition dinner. It will take place on Friday, 17th of October, 2025 at the Eko Hotel and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. We are honored that the special guest of honor will be His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. The chairman of the occasion is Olorogun Dr. Sonny Kuku, OFR, fellow Academy of Sciences, the Ogbeni Oja of Ijebuland. I will be the chief host, and of course, you expect that the Vice Chancellor, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, FAS, OAN, will be beside us. We must be truthful to commend the federal government of Nigeria for some of the bold steps it has taken, including the establishment of NELFON, which has made it possible for indigent students in Nigeria to continue with their education without any break. And also, recently the federal government also approved full scholarship for students in technical education at all levels. This is really commendable. And we must not be tired of saying so. We call on government at all levels to make education the true priority it deserves to be. Policy declarations must translate into sustained funding, accountability, and implementation. We also call on private sector and those who are blessed to see investments in education not as charity, but as enlightened self-interest.
With a vision for improved funding and investment in quality public education, the Nigeria Union of Teachers, in partnership with Education International and Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, has launched the Go Public Fund Education campaign. This campaign, according to the National President of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, Audu Titus Amba, is aimed at providing adequate and equitable financing in the public education system. And for its partners, they believe that investing in quality public education is key.
Our collaboration with the EI and the NUT is driven by the firm belief that investing in public education is essential, not only for flourishing of our youth, but also for the future of our communities and our nations.
We would like to lobby governments to go public and fund education so that every Nigerian child has access to quality public education. Let us come together in saying yes to quality public education in Nigeria and everywhere.
We join Education International EI and other partners to launch the Go Public Fund Education campaign in Lagos in continuation of our advocacy for adequate and equitable financing of education in Nigeria. Let us go public and fund public education. Let us go public and invest in education well-being.
Back. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has inaugurated 48 classrooms for integrated learning by almajiris in Bama Kukawa local government area of the state. The inauguration is aimed at reducing out-of-school children in the area following the devastation of the area by Boko Haram insurgents, as well as provide balanced education now and vocational skills.
Governor Babagana Zulum, alongside other government officials, arrived Baga, one of the former representatives of insurgency, to inaugurate Baga Higher Islamic College, as students dressed in new uniforms chant songs to welcome the governor and his entourage for restoring their hope of acquiring education. After inspecting the 48 classrooms, the Commissioner for Education informs the gathering that over 300 students have been enrolled and learning materials provided.
This is the highest Islamic section. 300 have come so far, but in Baghdad there is demand of over 500. So we said they should continue with the admission when we leave. So they turned out in overwhelming numbers yesterday. But we provided uniform and accessories for 300 and we will send in more.
From there, the governor and his entourage proceed to inspect the dredging of waterways between Nigeria and Chad Republic in order to ease trans-border transportation as well as encourage fishing activities in the area. The fishermen applaud Governor Zulum for always encouraging the empowerment of the citizens, especially the displaced communities.
Some months ago, I had a meeting with the president of Chad, President Deby, on the need to open this corridor. And this will enhance the means of livelihood of the community. You have seen people have started fishing activities. And above all, in the next few months, the work will be completed. Thereby, commodities will be conveyed from Nigeria, from Baga, to the Republic of Chad via waterways.
The governor also commends the security agencies in the country who are working tirelessly to provide security to the border communities.
I want to commend the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to commend the Nigerian military, commend the naval commander, as well as the Chief of Army Staff, as well as the Chief of Naval Staff, and all other military officers that are working tediously to ensure that access to Chad is often via the waterways.
With a relative peace recorded in some parts of the state, residents are optimistic that the initiative of the governor will create more jobs for the teeming youths.
Lagos State experienced an early morning heavy rainfall and flooding, just as predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET), which issued a flood warning to residents in Lagos and Ogun states. Visuals show commuters in Ogba and Victoria Islands prefer Bayami Street wading through flooded roads, while in Ikorodu, some residents and motorists were left stranded. With more rain expected to come, commuters have been advised to exercise caution when heading to their various destinations. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI, is conducting a study that will provide strategic insights for Nigeria to navigate the global shift to cleaner energy. Speaking at a roundtable on energy transition with stakeholders in the extractive sector and civil society in Abuja, the executive secretary of the agency, Ogbonnaya Orji, says due to the huge implications on jobs and livelihoods who are dependent on revenue from fossil fuel, there is a need for empirical data and credible information to ensure that the transition does not compromise Nigeria's revenue and energy security. He says the interim report of the study is now available, but will need the input of the civil society and other stakeholders.
The study we are conducting currently is providing a clear roadmap on how our country can engage on this transition as a very important development issue globally. The developed world is already ready, and they are navigating this with information and plans that they already have on ground. We thank our government for the fact that there's a national plan in place, but that national plan needs to be supported with credible information and data, and that is exactly what NITI is providing. Our specific role in the whole of this debate is to provide information and data to guide those plans that are already in place. So the essence of this information, the gathering that we have today, is to present what we have done in terms of the ongoing study. The internal report is ready, and we want to expose them to the media, the civil society, for their valued inputs and comments and criticism, so that the consultant will go back to work and then incorporate whatever views that may be shared today before the final report is out. For NATI, our data is credible, our data is globally accepted, our data is globally used, and our data is dependable. So that kind of information and data, that kind of data is what we need to deploy to this debate. But we need empirical guidance based on evidence gathered from the field. And this study is combing every nook and cranny to get those kind of information.
The recent power supply disruption in parts of Benin City, the Edo State's capital, has sparked complaints from business owners connected to the Edo State government house, who depend on electricity from the privately run Osisomo power plant. While the Edo State government says it will return to the Benin Electricity Distribution Company for power supply, the management of the independent power plant insists that it will resolve all issues very soon.
Business operators within the Edo Production Center along Saple Road in Benin City, the state capital, powered by the Osiemo plant, are now experiencing frequent power outages over the last 2 weeks. Another facility facing the same challenge is the Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ Secretariat, also in the state capital, a situation which has forced the state government to cut off business ties with the independent power company. Dada Ayohai, a business owner at the NUJ Secretariat, says the Osiemo power supply had been efficient before now.
Out of 24 hours, you can be sure of getting 20 hours, if not 24 hours. And if there are going to be any interruption, we can inform you ahead. You can plan your business, you can do your thing. You can take cold, chilled drinks or water. So Osiemo has been nearer to perfect. And when they came to this day, I thought it's the beginning of good thing when it comes to power supply. But we are a little bit surprised now what is happening now.
The Edo State government explains it had to revert affected areas to the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, following what it described as Osiemo's failure to supply power since the 1st of September. At the stakeholders meeting in Benin City, the head of the State Electrification Agency, Saturday Egbado, said the state could not risk prolonged blackouts after Osiemo allegedly shut down operations without explanation.
The Osiemo company did not consult the state government. We were not informed before it shut down the plant. We did not play any role. We are just a customer.
But the management of Osiemo Power Plant is telling a different story. At their own stakeholders meeting, company representatives blamed the disruption on the sudden pullout of their Chinese partners from the joint venture.
They've shut down their own plants. That is their contribution to the company. They've shut it down. So we have now started operating our independent equipment, using our independent equipment and our old turbines. Only one is working as at the moment. There is no way the second one will be in about 3 days latest. And in 10 days' time, all the 5 turbines we've bought, heavy-duty turbines, will be working and will be producing up to 7 to 8 megawatts.
For now, affected residents and business owners remain caught between the explanations from the state government and Osiemo Power, hoping the promised restoration of steady electricity will come quickly.
And on business news, as part of efforts to end decades of mismanagement of overtime cargo, the Nigeria Customs Service has unveiled plans to automate its overtime cargo clearance system in the southwest. Speaking during a sensitization exercise with stakeholders in Lagos, the Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Adeni, explains that the measure became imperative to end years of inefficiencies in managing overtime cargo.
The nation's premier port is littered with cargo that have exceeded the 30-day window for overtime clearance. The Nigerian Customs Service manual cargo clearance system is also not helping matters. Some importers have also abandoned their goods owing to demurrage and the cumbersome procedure. The present customs management seems ready to right the wrongs with the introduction of an automated overtime cargo clearance system and a measure to checkmate its operation.
Streamline the process of management of our overtime cargo, put in place transparency, make it easier for owners of those goods to access it within the stipulated time frame. So we have enough firewalls, we have enough checks to ensure that this process is not abused. And we are really going to look out for those whose intention might be to abuse it or to compromise it in a way, and we will make the punishment and sanctions very, very huge for them.
How impactful will the new system be to the service providers and the beneficiaries.
Okay. Some of the benefits of this exercise, when it fully takes off, includes that the NCS automated overtime clearance and disposal system will help in achieving the following: transparency of the process, simplicity of procedures, improved data integrity, eliminate bottlenecks, reduce human interactions, automate records of disposal, improve import and export data integrity, streamline processes and procedures.
Like every other government policy, we always have to have improvement on every decision that is taken. But the issue of people who try to bastardize the something will also be taken care of as well. They should internally do their own something, which the CGs have said, that they are going to see to the issue of the criminals who want to bastardize the system.
I think it's really coming at the right time, and I think it's coming to solve a lot of problems lingering between the importers, the clearance agents, and the custom themselves. With what we have had here, it's now on E. There's no manual where you give maybe an overtime, you give out an overtime cargo for auction to one person and mistakenly giving it to another person, and you don't even seem to know who collected first. But now on e-manifest, as they are giving a container out on auction, it's automatically enter into the e-system. And so anybody who come in with the same paper, the same container number, definitely the system will solve that problem out. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, that is what it is.
As stakeholders await the effectiveness of this new system, they also hope for an improved, streamlined clearance process across the Southwest region.
And that's it on the news at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Up next is The World Today.